Mm,
How's it, everybody?
Okay, welcome in everyone. Gonna be starting soon at 20 past, and then we'll go ahead and get underway. See, there's a decent amount of you tonight. We had a bit of drama in the group today, I see as well. But yeah, that quieted down a bit now and can get underway soon. You guys can all just send a thumbs up if you guys can all hear me. You can just send a thumbs up here. All right. Okay, let's get started. First, gonna go over to my HFM. Start over there for you guys. Okay, once again, if you joined, I probably told you this last week as well. I know I said I'd show you guys how to link your accounts as well from your HFM to your MetaTrader 5, but there are some things that Teams does not allow me to show. So if you guys have not yet linked your HFM accounts to your MetaTrader 5, and then what I want you guys to do is, all you guys must do is message me after this, and then I'll be showing you guys how to link it, because I cannot show, unfortunately, on the video while recording on Teams. But yeah, if you guys haven't linked it yet, just pop me a message after this. All right. So let's say you have your HFM. For starters, this is going to be, of course, your opening page. So now I'm going to show you guys where to go ahead and create your accounts that you will be linking to MetaTrader 5, because of course we just use HFM to withdraw and deposit, and of course transfer our funds over to our MetaTrader 5, where we will be placing and taking out trades. We don't take out trades on the HFM app, we take out trades on MetaTrader 5. HFM is just our broker. But all right. So now if you guys can see the bottom left, it says menu. I'm going to go ahead and click on menu now. You guys can just see the bottom left. I'll go and click on it now. It will take me to this page over here. Then if I go over to my wallet, if you guys can see there at the bottom, I'm going to click over to my wallet. And then it will take me to this page over here. So let's say you guys haven't created an account yet. You guys want to begin live trading. All you're going to have to do is, if you guys can see there on top, it says live accounts. You guys are going to go ahead and click on live accounts. And then it will take you to this page over here. As you guys can see, I already have 2 accounts created here. There's 2 Pro Plus accounts. Pro Plus is the best account you get. There's the best spreads. There's your leverage and all that stuff. Guys. But if I can show you guys now how to create an account like this, if you guys can just look there at the bottom, it says open trading account. I'm going to go ahead and click on it now. And then these options are going to pop up. As you guys can see here, we now have a premium account here. We have a cent account here, zero spread, Pro, Pro Plus. So now, for me, the Pro Plus account is the best account, but here is the catch. The minimum deposit on a Pro Plus account is 1,800 Rand. But let's say you do not have a 1,800 Rand for the minimum deposit. What you can do is, oh no, sorry, if you do not want to trade with the full 1,800 Rand, but you do have a 1,800 Rand, what you can do is you can deposit that money and then you can take out however much you do not want to trade with. So let's say I maybe have a 2,000 Rand, but I just want to trade with a 500 Rand, but I still want to use the Pro Plus account. What I'm going to do is I'm going to deposit the 1,800 Rand so that I can unlock the Pro Plus account, and then I'm going to transfer a portion of that funds out so that I can just have my 500 Rand. Does everyone understand what I mean by that? Before I show you how to transfer your funds and things like that. All right. But let's say now you do not have that 1,800. let's say you do not have that 1,800. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna either open a premium account or you're gonna go ahead and open a cent account. These accounts have no minimum deposits and there's leverage up to 2,000. Leverage is basically just how many positions you can open compared to the amount of capital in your account. So let's say we're trading on a 1 to 2,000 leverage. Maybe we're on gold. Let's say with a 200 rand, you can open about 4 positions. But let's say your leverage was half of that. Let's say, of course, 1 to 1,000. Then you'd maybe just be able to open 2 positions. Does everyone understand what I meant there by leverage? So, yeah. All right. And I'm gonna ask you guys if you can just please as well, just accept all the people that is joining into the thing, because as I'm explaining, I won't be able to accept all these people in the lobby. Okay. Back to the accounts. So now, as you guys can see here, we have a premium account and a cent account. A premium account is basically just your normal account. Your money is going to be the same, but let's say you go over to a cent account. If you're using the cent account, your 100 Rand will basically be, as it's in the name, broken up into cents. So it's still going to be the same amount of money, but it's just going to be smaller. And the value of positions on these accounts will be less compared to the value of certain positions on a premium account. So now back to the deposit when I was speaking about the 1,800 deposit. If I can just show you guys here, if I go back to my wallet, as you guys can see here, if you guys look there at the bottom, there's an option that says transfer funds. I'm going to go ahead and click on it now. And then it's going to take me here. So what did I say earlier about the Pro Plus account? I said that it has a minimum deposit of 1,800 Rand, right? So now, in order to unlock the account, I'm going to punch in 1,800 here. And then I'm going to click on this arrow down at the bottom so that these options can come up. And then I'm going to click on my Pro Plus account that I want to unlock, which is this one here in the middle. I'll click on it now. So now, as you guys can see, I'm about to send 1,800 Rand from the wallet to my Pro Plus account. So now I'm going to send it now. And as you guys can see, if I go over to live accounts, there's now a 1,800 Rand in my Pro Plus account. So now let's say I never used that account before. So now as I put in that 1,800, that account is now unlocked. So now I can trade on this account, whatever, even if I take funds out. So now I'm going to show you guys how to take funds out. Same process, transfer funds. But now instead of doing my wallet to your account, you're now going to do your account to your wallet. Then I'm going to go ahead now and click on that 1,800 account. And now let's say we said we want to trade with 500 Rand. So let's say now we're going to take out 1,300 so that we can just have a 500 Rand left. So now guys, as you guys can see now, we just have a 500 Rand left in the account, but now we are welcome to trade on the Pro Plus account, which is the best account. And now we are welcome to use it, even if we don't have to trade for the full 1,800. Does everyone understand that process that I just done now? You guys are good on that? All right. Then if I can go back to my wallet here. You guys can see here is the options to deposit. There's your green deposit button, and at the bottom is your withdraw button. There is multiple different options for ways to deposit and to withdraw. So I'm not going to go through it now because it's different for everybody depending on what you're using, what type of bank card you're using, and all of those things. But as you guys can see there's the green button for deposit. If you want to deposit into your account, you're of course going to click on there. And if you want to withdraw funds, you're of course going to click on withdraw. Okay, over now to MetaTrader 5. We can get more into the trading things now. Currently on my live account, but I'm going to switch over to my demo, which is not real funds. Over to my demo account now, which is not real funds once again. But now, let's say you linked your account. let's say you link your account now to your MetaTrader 5. You message me after this and you got your account linked. Maybe you have some money in there. Let's just say this is the amount of money you have in there. Of course, unrealistic, but let's just pretend for now. So when you open your MetaTrader 5, this is what you're gonna see. So now, before you're gonna be able to trade or anything, you're of course gonna want to find what you're gonna trade. So in order to go find that, like let's say you want to trade gold now, you're gonna go over to quotes. But now, as you guys can see there, gold is already there for me, which is XAUUSD. But
I don't know.
instead, but as you guys can see there, you guys can just look top right. There is a plus. So just imagine that gold isn't there right now. Gold is only there for me because I already put it there in previous sessions and I cannot delete it. But now I'm going to show you guys now.
What do you want
If I
there?
click on this plus. Sorry. And just get this person to
Sorry, but I
mute,
don't know for my
please.
screen, but
Oh,
your screen is frozen.
sorry, is my screen frozen?
Yeah,
Okay, I'm just
stuck
going
on
to
the live
try
account.
again.
Let me check out.
Is it over to MetaTrader 5 now? Can you see now?
Yeah, Marathon Material 5.
Okay, so it's good now.
Cool stuff.
All right, all good. I can just ask you to mute now again, please. All right. Okay, so to over to MetaTrader 5 now. Like I said, um, this is how your page is gonna look. Maybe your account is linked already, and let's just say this is your account now. So now this is where you're gonna be, and just trying to get this person to mute. Okay, let's say this is now your page. You're looking for gold now. We trade mostly gold. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna go over to quotes. If you guys can see there, bottom left, it says quotes. I'm gonna go ahead and click on it now. And now what we want to look for, we want to look for gold. As you guys can see there, gold is already there for me, which is XAUUSD. But let's just say it's not there right now. So then what you're going to do is, if you guys can see the plus at the top right, you're going to go ahead and click on that plus, and then this page will pop up. In order to search for gold, you're of course going to click there on the search bar, and then you're going to search, you're going to type XAUUSD. So now as you guys can see there, gold is now popped up, gold versus the US dollar. It is what we trade usually on daily. And then all you guys are going to do is you're going to click on it, but it's already there for me, so cannot do that right now. But then you're just going to click on it, and then it automatically save for you guys. And then or from there, all you're going to have to do is you're going to click on gold, and then from there you can click on chart, and then it's going to take you to this page. And just delete these lines here. Go over to this time frame. Okay. You can just take this away as well. So now you're on your charts page. As you guys can see here, it's clean. There's nothing here. There's no sell and buy option yet because I'm going to show you guys how to put it on now. So then you guys are of course wondering, now I'm here on my chart. How do I take a position? How do I sell? How do I buy? So now, if you guys want to sell, if you want to buy, simple. All you guys are going to have to do is, if you can see there top right, there's a red and blue magnet, I call it. There's a magnet there top right. I'm going to go ahead and click on it now. And then these two sell and buy options will pop up. Does everyone know how I got those sell and buy options now? All right. So now the sell and buy options are here. So let's say now you want to open a trade. Let's say, for example, you maybe want to open a buy. And it's as simple as you are going to click on the buy button, of course. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to go ahead and click on the buy button, which is there top right. I'm going to go ahead and click on it now. And then it will place me into a trade. As you guys can see here, there's now a trade opened. There's a 0.01 buy on gold. It's running there right now. So now we're in a trade. So now what do we do when we are in a trade? So the most important thing to do when you place yourself in a trade is to set what we call a stop loss. A stop loss is how we protect the capital in our account and how we prevent bigger losses or potential bigger losses. So basically, we use a stop loss for risk management. So we protect our capital, and that is what we always have to do in order to keep ourselves in the long game here. So now, how do we set what we call a stop loss? What you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and click on the position that's opened right now. As you guys can see there, there's a blue dotted line. I'm going to go ahead and click on it now. And now these options here at the bottom pops up for me. If you guys can see there at the bottom, there's an orange circle that says SL, which stands for stop loss. I'm going to go ahead and click on it now. And then this orange line will pop up. Let's say you just want to place your stop loss at, let's just say $30. Just going to place it there. Just a random placement of the stop loss. Oh, wait, sorry. I'm just going to show you guys how to do it. So as you guys can see, I put it now on $30. But in order to place it, there's now this blue arrow that pops up. What you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and click on that blue arrow. And then it's going to take you to this page. Then you're going to click modify. And then you're going to click done. So now, as you guys can see there, my stop loss is set. It's set there at the price of 4930. It's the gray dotted line there. It says SL. It stands for stop loss, of course. And then, as you guys can see there, if I click on the line again, only $30 is being risked in this trade. It's a random place of the stop loss there. But let's say now price were to come to the stop loss. If price were to come to the stop loss, you would lose $30 most in this trade. And that's the same way that's going to be for the TP that I'm going to explain now, which stands for take profit. It's basically just what you're going to be taking out of the trade. So if all were to go to shit in this trade, you will be losing $30. That is basically why we have the stop loss there. Stop loss, in my opinion, is more important than your take profit because, yeah, you don't want to be losing a lot of money. You want to be losing as little as possible if your stop loss were to hit. Does everyone know how I set that stop loss? And does everyone know now what is a stop loss? All right. So now we have our stop loss set. So now we can set as well what we call a take profit. So now in order to set the take profit, it's basically the same as the stop loss, but just with a TP circle. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my line here again. As you guys can see there at the bottom, there's a green circle. It says TP, stands for take profit. It's in the name, it's the profit we will get out of our trade if our TP were to hit. So now I'm going to go ahead and click on the green circle. And now I'm going to go ahead and place my TP at $34. So just going to go ahead and put it there now. Same way you click the blue arrow with the stop loss, you're going to go ahead and click it again with the TP. Clicked on it now. I'm going to click modify once again. And then done. So as you guys can see now, I have 3 lines here. The line in the middle, which is my position. The line at the bottom that says SL, which is my stop loss. And the line on top, which is the take profit. So now if price were to come to either the stop loss or the take profit, which is my 2 gray lines here, your trade will automatically close. So if it were to touch the take profit line, you'd of course come out of this trade with $34. But let's say it came to your stop loss line, which is $30, and then you close in a $30 loss. I'm going to go ahead now and place my stop loss close to the trade just to see if I can get us out of this trade and just show you guys what happens when it touches one of these lines. If price can just hit one of these lines for us quickly. So we wait. Okay. I just, I just realized that I said the take profit below the entry, but yeah. But as you guys can see there, I set now 2 lines there. And price came to one of the lines and then the trade automatically closed. As you guys can see, it was a loss, but yeah, that is what happens if it were to come to one of those lines, basically. Your trade will close automatically, and yeah. If you guys want to run your trade manually, you're of course not going to set those lines, but of course the stop loss line you guys should always have, and only the take profit line you guys can just let run. But I'll explain later on that and why you guys can let the take profit line not be there. I'll explain you guys that soon. But first, we're gonna go ahead and explain the limit. But before I explain the limit, I'm just gonna ask again: is everyone good on now the stop loss and the take profit lines? Everyone's good on that. All right. So now I'm gonna show you guys how to set what we call a limit. We're gonna go ahead and do a buy position again. So we're gonna set a buy limit. As you guys can see, top right, next to our magnet, we have our red and blue clock. I'm gonna go ahead and click on the clock now, and then this line will pop up. So buy limit now. And before I place it, I'm gonna just give you guys a little scenario here. Let's say in the signal group, Azim maybe sent a buy at 4942, where our limit is currently laying at. He sent a buy at the price of 4942, but let's say you're busy or something, you can't watch the charts or anything, but you want to hop in the trade. So now what do you do if you can't be watching the charts 24/7? You can set what we call our buy limit. And what will happen if I place this buy limit? It's going to be placed, and then if price were to come to this limit, you would automatically be placed into a trade. So I'm going to go ahead and place the line now. We're going to be clicking that blue arrow once again, and then place, and then done. So now, as you guys can see there's a gray line. It says buy limit 0.01. It is now set there. So that is now our buy limit. And let's say you guys are busy, you're a busy person, you can't look at the charts always. So now we have our buy limit set. And the same way you set your stop losses and your take profits, you set it the same way with your limit. And go ahead and do it now. Orange circle, green circle, just random placement over there. So now as you guys can see, we have 3 gray lines here. So now if price were to come, like I said, to that buy limit, and then you'd automatically be placed into a trade. The TPs and the stop losses won't matter unless you're in the trade. So now, as you guys can see there, it's going a bit close to the take profit. That take profit's not going to mean anything if you're not in the trade yet. So now, like I said, he may be sent a buy in that area. He may be like the area. He's maybe predicting a reaction in that area where I put the buy limit. And then that is where, of course, we will be put into a trade. But yeah, if you guys want to delete the buy limits now, all you're going to have to do is click on your buy limit there, click delete, and then delete once again. Is everyone good on buy limits? All right. Now, now I'm going to go over to a bit of signals talk for you guys who are on the signal group. I can just go over to the signals group. All right. This is something that many of you guys get confused of, and it's the multiple take profits that I'm speaking of now. A lot of you guys get confused with why there are so many take profits, and I'm going to go ahead and explain it to you now. But as you guys can remember earlier, we can only set one take profit line. But if you guys were listening, I always said if the price comes to these lines, you would be out automatically. But now we're going to show you how to take your profit manually and how to get the other TPs instead of just closing automatically on, let's say, you set it at the TP1. So I'm going to show you guys now, but I'm first going to speak it here. So in order to go for a TP2, if price were to reach, let's say, a TP1, let's say you want a TP2, but price is at TP1. So instead of setting your take profit line, what you're going to do is you're just going to hold your trade manually, and you're going to have a, let's say, an invisible line there as your TP1. It's not going to be there as on the chart. It's just going to be there in your head. I'm going to show you guys now what I mean by that. As you guys can see there, we had multiple TPs, but let's just say we're in a buy now. And put us in a random buy here, and I'm going to make my own TPs here. So let's say we have a TP of 4962. That's TP1. And we have a TP2 of 4967. So now, let's say price were to now come to 4962. We now don't have a take profit. So now, instead of your trade closing automatically, if you were to have a line at your take profit one, which is 4962, just going to place a line there as well, just to make it better for you guys. Let's say that's our take profit one, 4962, and we have another take profit line at 4967. So now, let's say if price comes to that first green line over there. But now, as you guys can see, we don't have a take profit set. So now, if it were to come to that TP1, you guys have the option close your trade. But it would come to a TP1, and Azim would maybe say something like secure your trade or bank some profit. I'm going to go ahead and explain both of those terms now, but I'm first going to go ahead and explain what he means by secure your trade. So as you guys can see now, our trade is in a bit of profit here. But in order to secure your trade, what you're going to do is you're going to move your stop loss above your entry. So now, as you guys can see there, my stop loss is above the entry, and I'm going to go ahead and place it now in profit. And this is what we mean by securing your trade. So if price were to go to that stop loss, you will automatically, oh sorry, not yeah, automatically you'll automatically come out with $1 profit because now your trade is secured and your capital is safe. As you guys can see, they did now, and my trade was completely safe. I'm out with $1. Does everyone understand what I explained there with securing your trade? All right. See someone's hand is up here. If you have a question, you're welcome to ask. No question? All right. Back to the trade. I'm gonna go ahead and place into a trade here again. And then what do we mean? Hello?
Hi, sorry. Just a quick question. How did you draw the lines?
Oh, the lines. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and show you now.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and show you now. So if you guys want to draw these lines that I have here, all you're gonna do is you're gonna click any place on the chart. I'm gonna go ahead and do it now. Like under the graph or whatever, you guys can just click on the page here. And then this is gonna pop up. If you guys can see there's a triangle, there's a circle, and I think that's a square there that's hiding there behind the two shapes. I'm gonna go ahead and click on it now, and to take you guys to this page. You guys are not gonna have these here at the bottom because these are all the past lines I think that I've drawn before. But if you guys look there on top, those are the objects you guys can use. The first one is a box which you would which you'd use to draw your fair value gaps. That other line, I don't use that line. And the third line you can use to draw your trend lines. And then the next line you can use for, let's say, your support and your resistances. I'm going to go ahead and just show you guys a few now. I can just take this box out here. As you guys can see, there's nothing here yet, but you're going to want to click again on the screen. And then this little red dot will pop up here. It's actually very small. If you guys can just aim there. And you guys see now, I clicked on my screen with a box. But now in order to make this box bigger, you're going to go ahead and click on that small circle that you put there yourself. And then you're gonna extend it. So now as you guys can see there, I drew a box. We use these boxes to draw fair value gaps. If I can just spot the fair value gap for you guys here quickly. Okay, there's a big one here at the bottom. Go ahead and draw it now. I'm going to explain the fair value gap quickly, but I'm going to get back to it later because this isn't actually a part of the session, but I'm just going to explain it to you guys quickly as well. A fair value gap is a 3-candle formation where your first candlestick does not overlap your third candlestick. As you guys can see here, if I can just show you guys, this is our candlestick 1 here, where I'm pointing here. This is our candlestick 2 here, and this is our candlestick 3. This thing pointing here outside of the body is what we call our wick. And here as well, as you guys can see, is another wick. So now between that two wicks is what we call our fair value gap. We use these boxes to draw fair value gaps. If market is, for example, buying, it would always retrace into this fair value gap before continuing buying. As you guys can see here, we were buying, we were buying, we were buying. What happened? We came back into this fair value gap, and then we continued to buy. That is basically how you use a fair value gap. If you guys can see here again, we came back into this fair value gap, we wicked it, and then we continued buying once again. That is basically for the fair value gaps. And then the other lines, if I can go back to the lines, you have this trend line over here. We can go here at the bottom of the wicks and we can draw a trend line through here. That is basically with the lines. And then last one that I use is this one. Use it for your support and your resistance. So you want to put it there at the top of that part, maybe at the bottom of the structure here. Just get it over there, and that is basically how you use your lines. But back to what I was speaking about with the signals. As you guys, if you guys are on the group, if you guys have been on the group for a while, when your trade is in profit, as you would say something like bank some profit. So basically, bank some profit means close a portion of your trade. I'm currently in a 0.01 and do not get smaller than a 0.01 on gold. So I cannot bank some profit on the specific position because I have a lot size of 0.01. Your lot size is basically just how big or small your trade is. But if you guys can see there on top, it stands there 0.01, which is our lot size. I'm going to go ahead and increase this lot size to 0.02. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the arrow that's showing up, of course. Go ahead and click on it now. Then this page will pop up. Of course, I want the 0.02. So I'm going to click on plus 0.01 so that we can get our 0.02. I'm going to put us in the position now. But before I continue explaining, I just want to ask you guys if you're good there on how I changed the lot size. You guys saw how I changed the lot size there? Okay. So now we're in a 0.02 position. Let's say this trade is in profit. I think it is in profit right now. Okay, it is in a bit of profit. So now we're in a 0.02. We may be arriving at the take profit one, and now Azim is telling you on the signal group to bank some profit. But you here now, you're wondering, how the hell am I supposed to bank some profit? I only have one position open. How on earth am I going to close half of this trade? What you're going to want to do is you're going to go over here to the middle again, which is trade. And it's going to take you to this page over here. In order to close half of this trade, you're going to hold on your position. Then this is going to pop up. From there, you're going to click on close position. And then if you're going to want to close half of this position, half of 0.02 is of course 0.01. Then you're going to, of course, want to change the 0.02 to 0.01. Now, how do we do that? So if you guys look on top again, it says 0.02. So now in order to change that to 0.01, I'm of course going to go here. I'm going to click on the 0.02. I'm going to click my X here and then change it to 0.01. So now I'm going to go ahead and click next. And then it's going to take me here. So now if I click close with loss, you guys are going to see now that 0.02 is going to change into a 0.01. Click done there. And now you guys can see I haven't actually banked some profit, but just for your mind, just act like it was in profit, because you're only, of course, going to want to bank some profit if your trade is in profit, of course. But I'm just showing you guys how to close off of the trade. Does everyone understand how I closed off of the trade? All right. But back to the lot sizes now. Guys are probably wondering, what lot size should I use for my type of account? So what we do is, if you guys are trading with a 500 Rand or less, and then we only want you guys, if you are a beginner, to be opening a 0.01 lot size. let's say you doubled your account now, it's up to 1,000 Rand, then you can, of course, start using 0.02s. That is basically how we run it with gold. And let's say you may be trading US 30 or NASDAQ, in other words, USA 100, which we also send signals on. And then you can trade with a 0.10. 0.10 on there is basically a 0.01 on gold. So, okay. So 500 Rand. If you have a 500 Rand, you're going to trade 0.01 on gold and a 0.10 on USA 100 or USA 30. And then you just double it from there. But as you get more experience, you'll know what lot sizes to use, how to manage your risk and all that things. But okay, if I can just close this position here, clear up my chart. Okay, on to trend. As you guys can see here, if I just hold on, I can just zoom in here. If I just show you this part of the chart, we are going in what we call an uptrend. Other word for uptrend is a buying trend and a bullish trend. A bullish trend basically stands for buy, and an uptrend is basically buy. So before I show you guys a better explanation of what is an uptrend, I'm first going to show you guys here. If you guys can see here, we have a low, and we have a high. Then we have a lower high, a higher high, a lower high, a higher high, a lower high, a higher high. Sorry, a higher low, a higher low, not a lower low. Sorry, guys. But I'm going to show you now on a page. I don't actually like explaining it on the chart, so I'm going to just show you guys quickly on a picture that I have here. If I can just go over to the picture, because I like getting confused there with the eyes all the time. So as you guys can see here, we have on our left here, we have our uptrend, and on the right, we have our downtrend. On the left is our buying trend, in other words, bullish trend. On the right is our downtrend, which is our selling trend. In other words, bearish trend. If you guys ever come across those terms, bearish means sell, bullish means buy. On the left, we have our low, then our higher high, then our higher lows, our higher highs, our higher lows, then our higher highs once again. So now, why are these trends important? So when you are in an uptrend, um, you're of course you're gonna want to look for buys. When you are in an uptrend, it's in the word trend. It's most likely trend will continue unless price is gonna reverse, which you guys will also learn how to do once you get more experience and take on Azim's classes. But for now, when you are in an uptrend, you're gonna look for your buys, and when you are in a downtrend, you are gonna look for your sells. Because when we are in an uptrend, it's most likely we are going to continue buying, and if we are in a downtrend, it's most likely we are going to continue to sell. I can just go over to my MetaTrader 5 again, and then show you guys a bit of time frame. But does everyone understand trend and how we use it to our advantage? Like I said there, everyone's good on trend. Buy trend, we look for our buys, sells, we look for our sells, of course. Okay, on to trend now. Can just go over to the 1 minute. As guys, sorry, onto the time frame now. So now you guys may be wondering what is the time frame and how do we use time frame? You guys can look there next to our clock. Next to our clock top right, it says M1, which stands for 1 minute. We are currently on the 1 minute time frame. And what does this mean? So the 1 minute time frame, it just basically means we'd be getting a candle every minute. So as you guys can see there's a timer. It's currently on 35 seconds, now 34 seconds, now 33 seconds. So when that timer goes to zero, we're going to get a new minute. We're going to get a new 1 minute candle that is going to form. So now, if I go over to my 5 minute time frame, how you guys may be wondering how are we going to switch time frames? So it's as simple as you guys can see there next to our clock once again, it says M1. I'm going to go ahead and click on it now, and then all the other time frames is going to pop up. So now all these other time frames pop up, and now I'm going to go over to our 5 minute. It says there the M5, which stands for 5 minute. And it's simple. just like the M1, but now it's M5, which means we're going to be getting a candle every 5 minutes. Guys, understand what I mean by that before I explain to you why time frame is important? So whichever number stands before the M, it basically just means that's the candles you're going to get. Okay, so now we're on the 5 minute. Time frame is very important to see where price is going. Like I explained to you guys earlier with the fair value gaps. If I can just spot that one that I was talking about earlier, it was a good example. The fair value gap over here, if I can just draw it for you guys again here. As you guys can see, if I can just draw the 5 minute fair value gap for you guys there again. Mm-mm. A way that a way that I like to trade gold. As you guys can see here, we're on the 5 minute time frame again. And here's a simple trade that I really spot in here. So basically, we are now on the 5 minute time frame. And we have what we call our fair value gaps. Our fair value gaps is very powerful, like I explained earlier a little bit. We go on these time frames to spot what we call fair value gaps. So as you guys can see here on this 5 minute time frame, we have our fair value gap here. So as you guys see here, twice twice price respected this fair value gap. And when you see this respect, what I mean by respect is if if the wick is inside this little box that we have here. If you guys see these wicks that we have in the box here, it's most likely that price will now continue. What did I say? It's trend. We were trending up, and then price came into the fair value gap. And then what did I say? If we are in an uptrend, it's going to continue buying, it's going to continue buying. And then I told you price will always come back into its fair value gaps. And we are in an uptrend and we have our fair value gap. We're going to wait for it to come into our fair value gap, respect, and then we can enter our trade. So as you guys can see now, after how it's respecting, it is now starting to buy up again. As you guys can see, we got 2 weeks inside this fair value gap, and that is basically how we use our fair value gaps there on our time frames. If I can go over to a higher time frame quickly, I'm going to go over to a really high time frame now, a daily time frame. If I can just show you guys this crazy example that I had here. As you guys can see now, I'm on the daily time frame. If I can just go over here and spot the small fair value gap here. If I can just draw it for you guys here again. The tiny daily fair value gap here. If I can just draw it properly. Don't know why it's not drawing properly now. It keeps skipping. Okay. Instead of drawing the box, I'm just going to put 2 lines there to indicate the box. It's over there, and the other one is over there. As you guys can see here, between that 2 green lines is our daily fair value gap. If you guys can see here, I'm just going to show you guys here. There's candlestick 1, candlestick 2, and there's candlestick 3. There's our wicks, our 2 wicks there. Not as you guys can see, it's not overlapping each other. Then it created this box. If you guys can see here, we had this massive buy on gold, a crazy uptrend before we had this recent tank. But as you guys can see here, so basically we are now we are on a higher time frame. The higher time frame is more to see where price will be going, because a rejection in the higher time frame fair value gap is more powerful and showing direction compared to, of course, a lower time frame. A lower time frame we use for more accurate entries, and the higher time frames we'd use to see more of direction. As you guys can see here, we rejected in this small fair value gap here, but it's on the daily time frame. the daily time frame is powerful, and if you get a rejection in a daily fair value gap, it's most likely that it is a strong suggestion that price will go where it rejected. So as you guys can see here, we rejected to start buying. So now, as you guys can see there, after we rejected in that fair value gap there at the bottom, what you guys see here, we see massive buy candles coming out here. After we got this wicked action in here, we bought up for, I can just say it in dollars. I don't want to explain pips because I don't think you guys understand that yet. We bought up for about $350 after that week on the daily time frame, and that is a big buy up. Just a 0.01 to make $300 on a 0.01 is a lot of money. So as you guys can see here, we had that reaction there. We had that reaction in that fair value gap, and that is on the daily time frame. It signaled that we'd be buying, and as you guys can see here, we are buying, and we are buying nicely here. So basically, that's how we use time frame, and you can use it together with your trend as well. Time frame, your trends. You can use a time frame to check the different trends that we have, and yeah, to spot your fair value gaps as well. I'm gonna go ahead and delete these lines here. But let's say we got that rejection there in the daily time frame. What did I say earlier? I told you we use the lower time frames to look for more accurate entries. So of course we cannot enter just based off a daily fair value gap. Let's say the action in a fair value gap. What you're gonna do is you're gonna go down onto your lower time frames. You're gonna spot the fair value gap like we drew here earlier, and then you can wait for some sort of respect in the fair value gap before you place a trade. But now, before I end the session, it's just a few more things that I have to go through. Oh, but before I'm gonna go over to that, I'm just gonna ask if everyone understands a little of what I meant there by the time frame. So high time frames we use for basically to see the direction, and we go on the lower time frames for more accurate entries, so we can have our smaller stop losses. As I put in that. It's just this one thing I forgot to show you guys. It's called bulk operations. It's something you do when you open multiple positions. Let's say you opened a few positions by mistake. I'm just going to go ahead and do it now. Let's say you just opened multiple positions by mistake. Then I'm going to go over to this page here. If you guys can see there above the loss, there's 3 dots, or above the profit now. Lost again now. But next to positions, if you guys look completely just across positions, there is 3 dots. I'm going to go ahead and click on those 3 dots now. And then this page is gonna pop up here. This is what we call bulk operations. If you guys want to close all the profit positions, you guys are of course going to click on the close profitable positions. You guys going to want to click, or you guys going to want to close all the losing positions. You're of course going to click on close all the losing positions. But let's say you like me, one day I was just sitting out with the family, and I had my MetaTrader 5 open because I was looking for a setup. But now I was sitting in this company, and then I completely forgot my phone was still open. So then what I did was I clicked random buttons, and I didn't know. Suddenly I just see I'm in a bit of drawdown. I didn't panic because I knew we have this bulk operations, but I just see multiple positions open. It could have easily blown my account if I didn't react fast enough, but good thing we have what we call our bulk operations. So then all I did was, as you guys can see, that it says close all positions. I clicked close all positions. And then, yeah, my day was not ruined, and I could close all my trades as fast as possible. Does everyone know how I closed all my trades there? Okay, all good. On that note, I'm going to go ahead and end the session there. But if you guys have any questions regarding the session, you guys are welcome to ask me now. You guys can also send me a message after this. I will respond to each and every one of you. And a reminder for you guys, if you guys' account is not yet linked to your MetaTrader 5, please message me after this so I can link you guys' accounts. Does anyone have any questions? Mohammed, I see your hand is up here. You guys, you are welcome to ask.
Thank you so much, man. Yeah, okay, I'm not sure it's for this session or another, but I always wondered, like, what do they mean, or you stop on a high, or you set a stop loss above a high or above a low? What does that mean
Oh, okay,
exactly?
okay. Let me just show you that quickly. Like Muhammad asked here, he asked me now, how do we set a stop loss above a high or low? Let's say we just use this part of the chart. I'm gonna go ahead and mark out the low for you guys here. This is our low here. That is our low there because it's the lowest part that is currently here. Nothing. So now that is our low over there. So let's say we're in a position and you were told to set your stop loss below the low. All you're gonna do is you're gonna take your stop loss and you're gonna place it there below the low. Same with the high. Let's say our highs over here, highs over there. Let's say you wanna take a sell now. I can just close the buy. Let's say you're in a sell, but you wanna place the stop loss above the high, and that is all you're gonna do. That is basically meant by putting your stop loss below a lower or above a high. You good on that, Mohammed?
Cool stuff, Zakra, man. Appreciate that.
All right, no problem. Kunrat, I see you have a question here as well. You're welcome to unmute.
Yes, brother. Tell me, okay, I've got two questions. For gold, what is a good so let's say you've got a thousand rand account. What
Yes.
is a good amount to put for a stop loss? How much must you risk on a 1,000 rand
Oh,
account?
a
You know,
stop
sometimes we
loss.
get yes,
Okay. And you wondering how much you wanna risk per trade, basically.
yeah. Like
Okay.
I've got 1,000 rand.
So basically what we like to do is when we are in a trade, if I can just close this position here. Let's say we want to go into a trade now. Oh wait, let me get an example with the fair value gap. I can just throw the fair value gap again here. Let's say we are placed into a buy over here. If I can just hit the buy limit there. What we would do is for the stop loss, we of course want to place it our stop loss in a place where we think it won't hit. Usually, we place our stop loss at an amount of either 80 rand, 80 rand between about 130 rand on our 0.01 position. So now, if we if we're gonna place it there, we're of course gonna want to place a stop loss in a place where we don't want it to get hit. So then we can just see here to the dollar now. That's maybe about that's maybe about 120 rand.
Okay.
So let's say our stop loss is now there. That is now our 120 rand stop loss. But currently gold has been a bit more volatile lately. So now we'd usually want to set our stop loss below our fair value gap. So let's say, for example, we know now that gold is respecting this fair value gap nice. So to be safe, we would set our stop loss here at the bottom of this fair value gap to be safe. But your stop loss all depends on where you think it won't get hit. So basically, we have a fair value gap here, and we know it's respecting. So now, to be safe, if we were to get more taps back into this fair value gap, it might be tapping around here, playing around here, and then we'd have our stop loss safely there at the bottom. There's usually we can't give you about an accurate position of how much you can risk per trade, but we can show you it like that. But let's say using 1,000 rand, and then if the safe spot if the safe spot, which is now $17 for us, which is below our fair value gap, is too much on, let's say, a 0.02, then you're going to decrease your lot size to 0.01, and then that is how much you're going to be risking. You
Okay.
understand what I meant there, Kunrat?
Yes. No. No. Perfectly. The last question, just quickly. when we've got a fair value gap and we are waiting for market to touch into the fair value gap, I can put
Mhm.
a limit order in so long as well. Nee, that
Yes.
works for fair value gap as well.
Yes, that is actually what I like to do. Sometimes I see, like now, if I saw how it tapped here, how it respected here after it went up, what I'd like to do is I'd like to set my buy limit right on top of the fair value gap and then expect it to be respected again. So as you guys can see, they respected again, and then if you had your buy limit there, you'd be almost in no loss. You'd be in no loss, and you'd shoot up, and you'd be in profit if you had your buy limit set there. That is a good way to trade, and I like to do that as well because you will get an accurate entry of your buy limit, and it might not move. It's not going to move fast for you, and then you would have that entry exactly where you set that limit instead of maybe entering manually, and then maybe you enter at a price that you didn't want to enter because the market was moving too fast for you.
Yes.
And yeah,
Okay.
you
Thanks.
can use
Thanks.
your buy
Thanks.
limits there,
Thanks.
Kunrat.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks. I'm covered. Thanks a lot.
All right. Any other questions, guys? I think there's just a minute on here, but if you guys have any more questions, I'll resend the link and then we can have some more questions for the last 5 minutes. No questions? All right. But let's say you guys maybe think of a question later or you forgot something that I explained. What you can do is you just pop me a message after this and I'll get back to you immediately. Thank you guys for joining the session. I hope you guys took something from the session, and I hope to see you guys in Azim's class on the Sunday. It's an intermediate class. You guys should be taking part in that class because otherwise this beginner class will mean nothing to you guys if you guys do not take part in that class. It's the same every week. Beginner mentorship on a Friday and intermediate on a Sunday. Hope to see you guys there in the intermediate mentorship. Have a great day further, guys.